If you were watching the election, there were also all these reports of electoral fraud, all kinds of stuff, and we are in a digital age now where it seems to me that it's just going to get a lot easier to manipulate the system and for fraud to happen. So down in North Carolina, people that claimed they were voting for Democrat Kay Hagan said that their votes were being flipped to the Republican candidate, and then this video popped up of actually the reverse happening. So let's take a look. Okay, that seems pretty obvious what's happening. They're trying to vote for the Republican candidate, and it is being selected on the Democratic candidate. You know, every year, these things keep popping up more and more now that we're doing this all electronically. How much do you believe in the system? That's what I kept thinking. Like, forget whether it's happening to Republicans or the Democrats, because I know people only get excited when it's their guys being screwed. Yeah. So forgetting that, like, how much do you actually believe that the results that we get are actually legit?
Well, first off, I would like to ask, do I live in like some weird like sub pocket? Because for me, I had like the little thing where I punched a hole.
Old school.
Old school. I was like retro. I was vintage.
Did you have a punch card and a hanging chad and the whole
Yes,
the whole
exactly.
thing? Yeah.
I had to actually tap it in.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get that at all. But I mean, 100%. I think that when you're dealing with anything technologically based and then politics and big money, I never trust it. I will never trust it. That is no.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we have that's sort of anecdotal, and I guess someone could have maybe had their finger on another part of the screen to manipulate it just to make people go nuts. But do you trust that the system is actually working properly?
No, I mean, I'm from Florida, you know,
No.
so I've seen
We
it.
could end the segment right
I've
there.
seen it time and time again that we just don't know how to count.
Yeah.
And apparently we don't know how to, use computers either. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So Florida went down. The governor race went down really close, and Charlie Crist. I hate these two men. I mean, I don't know that there's a race where I hated two people more. Rick Scott, who I believe in nothing that he believes in, and Charlie Crist, who absolutely believes in nothing and has taken every position on everything. I think he has some issues with the gay community. Perhaps you want to enlighten, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if you want to. Well, just their nodding of your head was enough there.
Yeah, Florida wouldn't be my first choice for residing in, unless it was like Miami, maybe now.
Yeah. So as we go more digital with this stuff, is this just going to happen more and more? Like, this to me seems like one thing where we should be going back to the punch cards and paper trail, so that after they can actually count something, right?
I mean, we can't count though, so.
Exactly,
We can't count
and
either,
paper
but
trail, anyway the wind blows, like paper trail, I mean, people can lose ballots, things can happen. I mean, the political system, the voting system, you always have to consider there's most likely a huge margin of error going on, especially when there's vested interests.
So I was tweeting about this yesterday, and I tweeted that video out, and a lot of people just kept saying to me, well, the whole, you believe in the system at all? Like, I don't believe in it at all. Is that even more dangerous because then that app, like, you have to believe in something, right? Like, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, Carl Sagan, right? Like, you gotta believe in something. So I can't just believe everything's rigged and then just throw my hands up, right?
Yeah, unfortunately a lot of it is rigged, but I feel like people use that sometimes as an excuse to not vote at all.
Yeah.
And that's really sad because politicians have to respond to some degree to popular demand. And if you don't express what you want and what's important to you, how can you expect to change anything? You know, so there's got to be a little bit of hope there, and people have to be willing to actually actively take part in politics and not just be a spectator.